The Bitcoin halving means you only get half.
It's the biggest event that happens in Bitcoin.
When the rate at which Bitcoin is being mined or produced is being decreased by 50%.
I think it is misunderstood in terms of what it is, but explaining that it's simply the amount that's issued into the market every single day is a pretty easy concept to come across. And when investors do get across that, I expect them to be more of a buyer than a seller than before.
Will it be big? Yes, it will be big.
The miners will not be looking forward for the halving because essentially they will get half the rewards for the same effort.
People who just like the fact that Bitcoin is staying true to the white paper.
To think about it, it's actually a beautiful way to regulate the Bitcoin without having to rely on any centralized authority.
It is a pretty exciting one because it does change the flow of the amount of Bitcoin that is being released into the world. At the same time though, it's been almost 2.5 years since the last bull run, and I feel like a lot of people are just dying to get back onto the roller coaster. So I wonder if it is overhyped.
That the Bitcoin price is gonna double or it's gonna be half.
People think that it's pure maths, that if the Bitcoin, after the Bitcoin halving, the price of Bitcoin is supposed to go up. That's pretty much a myth, right? Because Bitcoin is still bound to the other economic principles on the ground.
That the halving event will help to increase value prior to the halving. But I think that value is typically found after the halving.
One of the most common myths about the Bitcoin halving that I've heard has to do with the supply of Bitcoin being cut in half, and this isn't actually the case. It's more to do with the rate of production, which might not have that big of an effect on the price itself, but the truth is no one's gonna know until that day comes.
Well, I think with just two buyers that'll be draining all this extra supply and not too many people knowing about that, I would say that the halving hasn't been priced in. My conversations with institutional investors are really, what is the halving? Why is it there? And I think the amount of the market, global investment market that is, that knows about the Bitcoin halving is in the single-digit percentage.
As you reduce the amount of supply, that's what will happen with the halving. And with the increasing demand in the future, as more and more new investors and new traders coming into the Bitcoin market, I think it's just natural that we expect an increase in price.
It is one of the rare assets that you can actually model supply. There'll only ever be 21 million, and we know the supply schedule due to the open source technology that is the Bitcoin protocol.
Historically, if you look at halvings that's happened, it usually affects the price, so you should definitely still care.
Typically after the halving, we see an ascendancy in price.
Recent global events has kind of taken people's minds off of it. With the whole global pandemic and recession going on and all that. But I think this is what Bitcoin was made for. It's made for global recessions.
It's at a time when central bank printing is at record highs. The outlook for gold is really strong, and we're looking at the digital gold and supply each day hitting the market looking to be cut in half.
Certainly people should care. We're basically quantitative hardening instead of quantitative easing. So if there's ever a time to care about the halving, it is right now. Where Bitcoin is going to be harder to get your hands on, unlike the US dollar, which is going to be easier to get your hands on.
I don't think that the market is as rational as we expect it to be. And I guess so my answer would be no, I don't think it is priced in because I don't think it is possible to price it in already.
No, I do not think that the halving has been priced in.
We typically do see a massive rally after the halving, weeks after. So yes, I do believe it's priced in.
I think it doesn't matter what I think, whether the price has been priced in already or not. The most important thing is to just be in the game. So I would rather be worried about having more Bitcoin to be in the game than worried whether the price, the Bitcoin halving is priced in or not. So you, sir, should get you some more Bitcoin instead of worrying about the Bitcoin price.